What up? Story mother freaking time. Thank you for joining. So today will be a continuation of my TikTok story. So eventually she shows up, we'll call her Jasmine, and let me tell y'all something about Jasmine. We're just gonna do a super quick recap. So on TikTok, I spoke to you guys about this time that I picked up a shift at this surgery center as a registry nurse. And another registry nurse, her name was, we called her Jasmine. Jasmine was special, super duper special. Jasmine was making significant mistakes that nurses truly just cannot afford to make. I mean, like, those are the mistakes that supervisors look at you like,
are you okay? Are you on drugs?
So one of the significant mistakes was her reaching for the narcotic cabinet when a patient asked for Tylenol. Tylenol is not by any means a narcotic. It is an over-the-counter medication, a medication that anybody has access to. But she wanted to go to the narcotic container. And when I addressed it, I was like, oh, wait a minute, baby girl, where you going? She was like,
oh, silly me.
Anyways, fast forward to the next major mistake. She was about to discharge a patient with the IV still in their arm. Another major no-no. The last straw. So real quick, let me just give y'all a super quick explanation. Whenever you work in any perioperative area, pre-op, PACU, the operating room, it doesn't matter what you come to work wearing, you have to take that off and put the facilities scrubs on. So when the shift is over, you go to the locker room and you change out of the scrubs and you put your clothes back on. Well, when Jasmine was leaving, I thought to myself, she looks just as disheveled as she did when she came in, but she still somehow looked different. And immediately when I thought that thought, I heard my coworker say,
is she wearing my clothes?
And then she said even louder,
yo, she's wearing my clothes.
And it was with that second announcement, realization, that Jasmine took off, like haul tail, booking it out of the building.
Meep, meep. Meep, meep.
And so obviously my coworker, another registry nurse, booked it after her. And everybody's just standing there, including the supervisor, just sort of in disbelief. And so eventually my supervisor snaps back into it and she was like,
oh my God, we gotta call security. Should we call 911? Maybe we should just call security.
And nobody moves. Everybody's just like, wait, did that really just happen? So then again, she was like,
somebody needs to call security.
Ain't this a bitch? I'm waiting on some action to jump off in here. You heard what Mr. Molly said? We top flight security of the world, Craig. Shit, not just the city, the world.
So I didn't move. I was just sort of standing there because I was also still in disbelief and it was taking me a moment. And so one of the other coworkers, the staff nurse, picks up the phone and, you know, she gets security on and then we hear an overhead page, security to pre-op, security to pre-op, or PACU. Pre-op or PACU? I don't remember, okay? And so these gentlemen start flooding the area. I don't really understand what the purpose of them flooding this area was because they were booking it outside of the surgery center. So eventually we start to slightly neglect the patients that are in there and we make our way outside to see if the chase continued. And it didn't get very far. So we can call the registry nurse Maya. Maya had Jasmine up against the wall with her forearm under her neck, like,
what were you thinking?
Just yelling a whole bunch of explicits in her face. I'm not sure that I would have responded so aggressively. Truth be told, I understand that it's the principal. You came in here already acting strange and then you're walking out so boldly with my clothes on. Honestly, she rubbed me the wrong way. I would have probably just let her go with the clothes if it guaranteed or at least gave me some sort of reassurance that I would never have to deal with this woman again. She was just all kinds of strange. So security pulled Maya off of Jasmine And Jasmine tries to run again. Security grabs her, brings her back into the building, and begins to question her. And obviously I want to hear, everybody else wants to hear. So we're all sort of flooded, again, ignoring the patients. And eventually my supervisor's like,
We've got to get back to work. We have patients in there.
meanwhile, she's still standing there, minding their business. So, fast forward, we go back to work. Jasmine's weird. Maya's pissed off. And I don't really know what ends up happening to Jasmine because they're dealing with this whole situation sort of not completely outside of the surgery center, but outside of the PACU area. So we have to get back to work. They're dealing with that situation. So a lot of times with registry, the agencies will hear from the facility whether or not they want to see that nurse again. They will favorite you. And of course, I was favorited, so I ended up having to come back to that facility maybe about a week later. And I obviously left without even knowing what was going on, what ended up happening, because the registry nurse, that Maya, was too pissed off to even finish working. She didn't even stay the rest of the shift. You know, understandably. But also, it's kind of money that you bypass, whatever. So I come back to work and my supervisor, who absolutely loves the drama, but you know, so did I, tells me that Jasmine actually was a nurse, but she had her license taken away. And she was using someone else's license number, and that's how she slid through the registry, I guess, checklist, where they check to see if you've got all your credentials. And the reason why her license was revoked and she was on either probation or suspension is because she was trying to steal narcotics. Homegirl has a history of drug abuse. Hence the reason why homegirl came in there looking disheveled and leaving with somebody else's clothes on, reaching for the narcotics when somebody asked for Tylenol, and forgetting to take the IV out of a patient's arm. It is cray-cray out here in these streets. Anyways, don't do drugs. Thank you for joining.
大丈夫ですか？やっぱり具合が。とってもフルーティー。それはもしや大家さんの。いたな。見てません。私何も見てませんから。真冬さん。こんにちは。